right, welcome to our first press conference of the day. Number 2 seed Creighton, a 64-55 winner over 10 seed Butler. So the Blue Jays advance to the Big East Tournament semifinals for the third time in 4 years, and for the second straight year. They'll play tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock here at the L on Fox Sports 1 against the winner of our next game, which is number 3 Marquette and number 6 Georgetown. A couple of notes about Audrey Faber, 17 points. That's her personal best in the Big East Tournament. 23 wins for Creighton, their 4th highest win total in head coach Jim Flanery's tenure. And the 9th victory of the season for the Blue Jays when trailing at the half. So with us now, head coach Jim Flanery, along with student athletes Audrey Faber and Sydney Lamberty. We'll do an opening statement from coach first, then we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes first, and then when we do get to that point, we'll ask you to raise your hand. We have a wireless microphone that Pam has. We'll get around to you. But first, we'll start with a quick opening statement from coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, you have better game notes than our sports information director, because I would have had no idea that was our 9th victory, trailing at half. Oh, okay. Read the notes. See, he told me to be brief, but his notes are too long. That's why I'm just kidding. We are, we've been a good third quarter team. I thought today was, I just said if I knew what we were saying at halftime that we're not saying in the pregame, I'd correct that a little more quickly, because we've been a slow starting team. But we were in good shape at half. To only be down 2 with the start that we had, I felt like, our nerves were obviously an issue early, and I felt like once we got to halftime, our kids were confident knowing that we were only down 2 and we were playing against a team that had played yesterday. And I thought, that was huge, and we kind of broke the game open just enough in that third quarter. These 2 were really good. I thought Audrey was aggressive from the beginning. Made more maybe as the game went along, and then Sydney's just steady. She's always steady. And I didn't really want to play her 40 minutes, but I felt like that was getting this win was important. So Butler fought. I've said they're a way better team than their record would indicate. Schickel's tough to guard, and then they had some threes come from places we were kind of comfortable with them shooting it. So good win, ready to go tomorrow, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Coach. Again, no, you're great. You're great. And just if I can defend Glenn, I had that stat from his notes.
Oh, okay, so never mind.
So you're good.
He needs no defense.
Questions for the student athletes. We have Matt DeMarinis from White and Blue Review to get us started.
So I don't need to introduce myself then, right?
I just introduced you, so go ahead and get started.
Thank you for that. Audrey, Sydney, I guess it looked like you guys haven't played a basketball game in a week. Did it feel like you guys were stuck in the mud a little bit there to start? Did you kind of have to, get the instincts going again?
Yeah, we were playing kind of fast, honestly, just turning the ball over a lot. I think we were just really anxious coming into the game, just needed to slow down. We blamed it on nerves at halftime, so second half was a little more comfortable.
It probably helps that you guys have played games like that throughout the season where the offense has kind of gone through lulls and you've had to rely on getting stops to stay in games and keep from kind of getting blown out early. Was that kind of what you guys kept telling yourselves in that first quarter and first half?
I mean, whenever our offense isn't working, we always turn to defense, and that's what we were doing today. We were like, well, if we can't score on offense, we might as well try to get something off of defense, whether that's fast breaks or just getting stops.
Yeah. Just name and affiliation.
Hi, I'm Santosh, stringing for the Omaha paper. How do you explain the third quarters? I looked at the numbers just against Butler. It was 16-4 and 22-12, and today was 22-13. Like, how do you explain that?
I don't really know, honestly. It's been a trend all season. I don't really know how to explain it.
I mean, we always make jokes. We're like a third quarter team, so I don't know what it is. If it's just halftime, we're like, all right, we need to pull it together, or
talking things out at halftime. I don't know what it is.
And looking ahead, I guess, it's obviously either Marquette, which the game last time was unbelievable, or Georgetown. Can you talk about each potential team tomorrow?
I mean, both of them are good teams, and they're quick teams, and they like to fast break a lot. So, I mean, we're going to have to play good defense to win against them, and whoever we play is just going to have to be a lot of focus on defense.
You're good? Okay. I guess you guys didn't really double Schickel as much as you guys have in the past. And Audrey, you got caught on her a few times on some switches. What were you I guess, trying to do when you're isolated on her to make things difficult for her?
Just trying to push her out as far as we could so we didn't get pinned necessarily, especially me. But then just not fouling, staying straight up, and then only giving her one look, boxing around, not giving her second chances.
We have time for one more for the athletes.
I guess for the players, I've asked Flan this, but obviously he doesn't lack for motivating you guys. But it's a unique position for you in that you've, for all intents and purposes, have locked up in NCAA tournament. You kind of have like a little consolation prize if you don't play well this weekend. How do you keep your edge in playing well this weekend and still trying to play for something, even though you know it's not do or die?
I don't think we've really even thought about that. Over the whole entire season, we haven't really talked about NCAA tournament. I mean, that's always been a goal, and that's the end goal for us. But, I mean, winning this is a really big goal for us, too, and it has been from the start. So I don't even think that's really in the back of our minds right now.
Especially after last year, too. We lost in the championship game, so we want to get back there and win it this time. So.
Great. Ladies, thank you. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
We'll give them a moment to take a leave, and then we'll open it up to questions for Coach. And same thing, raise your hand, and we'll pass the microphone around. Start, Matt.
Thanks. I guess, Flan, what went behind the decision to not double so much on Schickel? I mean, that usually seems to be the game plan for Butler is, make other people beat you, but it seemed like you were okay with Bree and Audrey kind of guarding her one-on-one at times today.
Yeah, well, I mean, the kids that we kind of felt like we could help off of made more threes than we wanted them to make. Bailey made one, Buford made two, Bry made one. So once we got ahead, I felt like we needed to be a little bit more three-point conscious. Plus, the other thing is, Schickel played 37 minutes yesterday, so there was a little bit of a in my opinion, or in my head, there was a little bit of kind of willingness to make sure that she was going to make everything before we doubled her as much as we thought we maybe needed to last weekend. I think that's the advantage, I think, of them having gotten off the court at 6 o'clock last night, and so I thought that definitely played into my mind as far as how much we were going to double her.
When you find yourselves down 14-5, I guess kind of late in that first quarter, you call a timeout. It seemed like you were more concerned that it was more than just missing shots at that point. What did you, I guess, say to the team to kind of get them to relax or to refocus or to kind of get them to, back to playing well?
Matt, I never get my team to relax because I'm the least relaxed player or person out there. But I just said get the ball. My frustration was with the turnovers. I felt like Marissa forced some passes, Sid forced one. Like I said, get the ball up on the rim. We talked about, coming off ball screens and shooting a 15-footer because Schickel's not going to come out. She's not going to come out and defend that. And I felt like we kept forcing the ball to the post off of ball screens. And we got hurt. Defense. We had a harder time guarding them in transition. I mean, Weaver they got probably 3 layups in the first half off a turnover. So I said, well, I always feel comfortable that at some point we're going to make some shots. We got too many shooters, and I think we're harder to guard as the game goes on, and teams get a little bit more fatigued, and we have to make them have to communicate as much as we make teams have to communicate. So it was mostly about taking care of the ball and mid to late shot clock, taking a shot rather than forcing a pass. I felt like that was the stretch where I became the most frustrated was the overpassing.
With Audrey getting going there, it seems like she was the only one for a while that was hitting any shots, and I know with the motion that it's possible for everybody to get a touch without necessarily being specific, but was there a point in that first half there where you made a conscious effort to kind of get Audrey into some scoring positions considering she got hot there? Yeah,
we felt like we'd talked a lot about setting flare screens for both Audrey and Jalen, and because they're less likely to switch on 4 players. They're less likely to switch on those. So, I mean, that was a big part of the game plan, was to set flare screens for Audrey and Jalen, and but they also have to read it, and the pass has to be on time, but typically again, we don't always read it well at the flare, and we don't always get the ball there on time. But when we did, I thought she had good looks. But that was a big part of the game plan, was to set flares for those two specifically. But even for Lauren, I mean, a big part, another big, the other part was just getting Schickel away from the basket. That really hurt us early in the game, as I felt like Bree was hesitant to shoot the ball from 15. Okay, and she hit the one in the second. We talked about we need to be shot ready, 5 players from 15 to 17, because the more we can draw Schickel away from the basket, the more the basket area is going to open up. And I feel we felt like against a team with young guards, we needed to we need to open up the basket area so that when they miscommunicate on switches, the basket area is open. So that was the other thing where we weren't where we needed to be early, is we just weren't shot ready with our 5s.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah,
Yes.
Jalen played a fantastic game, obviously scoring, great burst, which is the way she plays, but also defensively she got
Yeah.
on the weak side a little bit for
Yeah.
you guys. Talk about how you
Yeah,
assess her.
she's been she's been just playing her more throughout the year. The more we played her, the more productive she's been. And she's to your point, like, she did a great job on Weaver. Weaver, when they put shooters on the floor and they've got Schickel out there, Weaver's tough to stay in front of, but Jalen's length, I thought, really bothered her. And so I thought defensively she made an impact. And then I just like her confidence offensively. If she's open from the 3, she's going to take the shot. And then she's good on, you saw on movement. We finally got them to miscommunicate a little bit more late. She got some wide open shots, but just moving without the ball even earlier, I thought, she and Lauren, I think, put a lot of pressure on defenses because of the way they move without the ball.
Coach, thanks. I know we want to bring
Thanks.
Butler in.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you,
very
guys.
much, Coach. Appreciate it.